Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Jake Salvi.
And I'm Cole Belak. Welcome to the Rundown. Let's kick off with Siena sports. Starting off with softball, as the Saints had a doubleheader on Friday against Sacred Heart. Siena started off strong with Gianna DeMeglio hitting a 2 RBI single in the first inning to bring home Lauren Melton and Gracie Goeway. After the Pioneers hit a solo shot in the third, Mackenzie Swinson responded in the fourth with an RBI single for Carly Venables to run home. That affair would end that way with a 3-1 victory.
Heading into the second game, and Siena kept that momentum going. The first two innings did go scoreless, but the third inning did see the Saints put up the first run, courtesy of Gracie Goeway's single to bring home Mackenzie Swinson. And after that, the floodgates opened. The Saints put up 5 more runs in the fourth inning. To start it off, Callie DeLauder smoked a 2-run homer to make it 3-0 Saints. And later in the inning, Lauren Melton came in off a sacrifice fly, and Goeway and Swinson made it home off an error in the field. The Pioneers responded with their own 5-run innings. Sacred Heart brought one back early on and then pulled out a grand slam to cut the lead down to 1. But after all that excitement, the game ended at 6-5 to see Siena clinch the series. And the final game was canceled, so a sweep for Siena. And for baseball, Siena traveled out to North Andover, Massachusetts for the weekend. Their first game against Merrimack came on Friday. The Saints took off to a good start with a solo home run from Aiden Paradine in the first and a solo home run from Edwin Sanchez in the second to put Siena up 2. The Warriors answered back with a 2-run home run in the second to tie it up. Siena kept the home run theme up in the fifth with a solo home run from Richie Paltridge, and Siena then added 2 more runs in the sixth from Jeremy Sangalang and Gavin Thorburn. Merrimack pulled one back in the bottom of the sixth, but Siena saw this one out 5-3.
The second game on Saturday was an absolute shootout. The Saints started out hot, taking an 11-0 lead going into the fourth, and kept a commanding lead entering the seventh up 13-3. Siena had no answer for the Warriors in the 7th and the 8th, however, where they put up 13 unanswered runs in the 2 innings to secure a win 16-3. Leaving the series tied going into the final game on Sunday, a much-needed bounce-back game after Saturday. The Saints had another double-digit scoring lead, putting up 10 runs, again starting off strong, scoring 9 of those 10 in the first 3 innings. Jeremy Sangalang had 10 runs, Gavin Thorburn had 3, Owen Pinsnitz had 2, and Aiden Paradine, Jake Sparks, and Joe D'Elia had 1 each. The final run of the game was stamped on in the 8th inning, and this would mark Siena's first series win of 2025.
And March Madness wrapped up with the Florida Gators bringing it home for the first time since 2007. My bracket prediction came to life, so I had to support the Gator Blue today.
Gotta rep it, green and blue for the Gators. My first championship prediction correct ever, so feeling good.
It's a good day. But that is all the time we have for you this week.
Up next, Steve Jones sits down with Sina Toroslu.
Thanks, Jake and Cole. Well, I'm here today with a very good friend of mine, Sina Toroslu, a volleyball player here at Siena, a senior on the team. And Sina, welcome to the Rundown.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, do you want to tell us a little bit about your background and just your origin story? You have one of the most unique stories from any Siena athlete we have here on campus.
Okay. I guess originally, first of all, I'm from Germany. I've been in the States for 5 years now. And kind of of my background, I'm Turkish and Italian as well. So I was raised trilingual at home. And yeah, I guess another factor would be that I moved out of home when I was 16, the broad frame for why I was so dedicated to come to the States is all these kind of frame points.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we know you have that volleyball background. How did you get an interest when you were young, starting with volleyball?
To be honest, I didn't start with volleyball. I actually started with track and field for 9 years till I was 13, and that was my dad's sport. So I kind of was thinking maybe I should give my mom's sport a shot. So I tuned into that when I was 13, and I kind of took off from there just because, I don't know if you guys know me, I'm pretty tall, I'm 6'1". So all the coaches kind of got on me just because of my athletic background of being, athletic. So I just got pushed through that a lot and just got to spots really quickly where it was a higher level of play.
So you mentioned your parents. Did they have a big influence on the sports growing up or your passion for sports?
Definitely. My dad himself, he's more of the passion driver in our family. My mom loved doing her sport, but she's overall pretty just focused on volleyball. My dad's just broadly really interested in everything and especially into the athlete's development as well, since he was my coach then actually for 6 years with track and field. So that's probably where I kind of like got it from. And then they were pretty like open-minded, like wherever I would want to go for, they always supported me.
Now, what was that jump like, transitioning from Germany to the United States, nonetheless, as a new collegiate athlete?
I think that was a pretty big jump. Like, I think overseas, a lot of people dream about that step. And especially like with sports like basketball, it's like a more present thing to say, like, oh, US is like this, the step you want to take if you're really an elite player overseas. But for volleyball, it just recently started actually when I transitioned. So it was pretty cool to kind of like be the start of things and then have younger players look up to me like doing it. So that was pretty awesome.
When did your volleyball career begin here in the U.S.?
That was 2020 actually during COVID.
Wow.
So things were kind of uncertain and like scary at that time for us Europeans since everything was a lot more stricter. But that was definitely the right decision to do for me.
So do you want to take us through your timeline of college volleyball?
Yes, sure. So, I mean, I said I was here for 5 years now. So I started in Florida, at Florida Southwestern in a JUCO, a Division I JUCO, and by far one of my favorite schools I've been to. And due to COVID, because the season was kind of uncertain if we would play the season or not, I transferred to Kansas, to a JUCO there as well. And then that was also like during like those times where kind of like this like life switched, like turned, because I lost my dad during that time, my freshman year, and I kind of just had that like feeling of not willing to stay there and like needed like a new beginning somewhere. So I decided then again to transfer. So yeah, here we go, already the third school within the first year of being here. But I went to Texas and I really liked the school and the environment there. And so Texas was definitely a 2-year thing because then we COVID athletes got told we get an extra year. So then after that, completing my associate's degree there, I decided to move on and I was dreaming of going to D1. And then here comes Coach Simone that recruited me here. And I really liked the personal fit that I had with the coach and from what I heard about the school academically as well. So I came here in January 23, and this is my second year, I guess, officially now, like getting my bachelor's soon, hopefully.
Wow, that is fantastic. What was that transition like, or should I say leap of faith like, from that second school to the third school, and what did it mean to you as you were going through a bit of hard times?
Right. No, it's definitely underestimated of how like critical such transition can be, especially since the first school you go to, it's like kind of like a really like intimate spot, and like all the first expressions you get and all the culture shock you receive is so intimate, like experiencing that with the people you're there at. So that was definitely heartbreaking to kind of like having to leave that space and the people I got comfortable with first. And yeah, so then definitely it's just like kind of carried on because you always want to make yourself feel comfortable in an environment and like have people obviously like you, and like in a team sport you always have to like be professional too about things with coaches and everything. So it's definitely always hard to like reopen the chapter and like get to know people again and again, but it's also like very beautiful. It taught me a lot, like personality, character, and like just development wise.
How would you describe Siena on a personal level, but also an athletic level and an academic level too to you?
I think that one is pretty interesting. I think since today I like keep like experiencing so many like new things and have so many like more knowledge like come into me. So I think definitely on the athletic side it's very an intimate feeling here because the school is just very like small, just like size wise, but it gives you the opportunity to just like cross paths with everyone pretty much. Like I think I met everyone in the athletic department by now, and it's a nice thing that some people like start to get to know you by name and, you know, ask deeper questions and stuff like that. And then on the academic end, I think we have really awesome professors. Like they actually like want you to succeed and like get to that professional level and business path you want to go into, and like they support you all the way. So
Yeah.
I think it's a very nice balance. Yeah.
We all have a mutual one, yourself, myself, and our
Love
buddy
him.
Joe, Mr. Adam Flieger, Dr. Adam
love
Flieger, I
him.
should say.
Yeah, he's one of my highlights here actually. Like we did
Yes,
experience
yes.
those 2 classes we took to travel abroad and then to Costa Rica recently. So those
Yeah.
are like things I've never dreamed of, or like when I tell them to people at home, they're like, oh, universities do that, you know, like people just know about like the abroad semester that you fully take for educational reasons, but that is, I think, even more intimate, like to experience like 10 days with people you've basically never seen before.
Yeah. So what does the future hold for Sina Toroslu after graduation?
Well, so here comes me being super lucky, being a COVID athlete, being a JUCO athlete now too. So what does that mean is that I may be granted a additional year, which would mean that I could maybe do a master's. So a 6-year, I'll be a 6-year granny. So yeah, I'm currently like still deciding if I should take that. I'm already in the transfer portal. So there's definitely a few options I was looking into, but then on the other hand, what I personally had prepared for after graduating with my bachelor's is to go on and play pro. So that is like the big overall goal. Like no matter if I take this like year or not, that would definitely be something I want to do.
Well, Sina, thank you so much for joining us here on the Rundown this afternoon.
Thank you, Steven, to have me.
Thank you, thank you. So, Maggie, without further ado, take it away.
I'm Duke all the way. I don't like Duke. I don't like to say this. Duke's, they're like the big bad. Duke's got this in the bag, man. I mean, they have dominated at every single level. Everywhere they have gone, they have dominated. They have a team that's like comparable to like the Utah Jazz. So imagine just picking up the Utah Jazz, throwing them in March Madness, they'd run through the whole thing. They're getting overlooked just simply because we don't want to see Duke win the whole thing. We don't want to see Cooper Flag do it because it's too obvious. It would be too easy for them, which I think they're going to show us all. That's what they're going to do.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Rundown. Thank you for joining us. It's Matt Coloma, Joel Emery. I'm Maggie Miller. And Matt, that was really embarrassing. What do you got to say?
Very ashamed of that take, obviously. I had a lot more confidence in Duke. There's really not much to talk about. You saw the clip, so I apologize to all the Duke fans out there. I was with you, but yeah, so let's move on.
That's all you got? That's your apology?
Yeah, let's just move on.
Okay.
Let's just go on to the next.
All right, so on Monday night, Florida and Houston took to the NCAA championship floor for a nail-biter. In the first half, Houston had the upper hand, outscoring the Gators 31-28. Then in the second half, Florida had one last bite in them, scoring another 37 to the Cougars 32. The University of Florida went on to win the Natty 65-63. Matt, what were your thoughts on the game?
Another choke job. Like, wow. Like, how do you not even get a shot off at the end of that game if you're Houston? That was bad. I know it would have been a double dribble or a carry if he touched the ball, but like you gotta get a shot up initially. He just went the hang and then didn't put a shot up. I don't know what you're doing there, what you're thinking. Embarrassing loss for Houston, really. Congrats to Florida. They were probably, you got to look at them now. They were the best team in the nation this year, right? That's what you got to call them. They're the national champs. There's a reason Houston's known as a defensive team, not an offensive team, based on that last possession. So, Joe, you had Florida, so props to you.
Say it with me, guys. Walter Clayton Jr. Ready?
Oh, here he
Walter Clayton Jr. Man. 11 points in the second half, right? When it mattered most. Scoreless in the first. Huge three, clutch three late to tie it up. Will Richard obviously was big time. And at the end of the game, you just said it, Houston choked. They really did. Sharp had a chance to shoot it. They never got a shot off. And who, again, time in, time out, made the play? Walter Clayton
Here he goes again.
Jr. Yeah, disrupts him, doesn't get a shot off. Got to tip your hat off to the Gators, right? Outstanding performance this entire tournament. Really, their closest game besides this one was... Stop.
We're going to be doing that the whole show.
Their closest game besides this one was UConn, pretty much. UConn gave them the hardest game. Probably Auburn was a hard out for them as well. But listen, Walter Clayton Jr., he is easily a lottery pick now for the NBA. Let me be very clear on that. 100% a lottery pick.
Oh.
And this guy averaged 18 points per game in the regular season, 22 points a game in the tournament, a 3-point increase, named most outstanding player of the entire tournament. And listen, the Iona kid Mac Bread, Rick Pitino. The storyline is fantastic, right? And he elevates his game year after year after year, and this year just shows everybody he was the best point guard in the tournament this year, arguably the best point guard in the entire country this year. So this kid's got future NBA star written all over it. I love what I see. I'm a big fan.
I am going to halt you there with the lottery pick. That might be it would be a little hasty there. I mean, I was looking at some mock drafts this morning even, and, you know, they still have him going late first round. And, you know, there's combine invites, there's pro days, there's stuff like that. So he still has a chance to impress. And obviously, the most impressive thing he did was kind of help backpack Florida to a national championship. But, like, he's 22, lottery pick, probably a little bit too rich. We'll see. We'll see. I like the kid. We'll just see if he's a lottery pick.
NBA ready, though.
And I do agree. He's a day one contributor. It's just, we'll see. I don't know how high his ceiling is the only issue.
So let's shift to NCAA Women's Basketball Championship game from Sunday. So number 1 South Carolina took on number 2 UConn in a blowout game. The Huskies came in hot from the start of the game, outscoring the Gamecocks throughout all 4 quarters. They won the Natty for the 12th time, 82-59. Joe, now how well deserved was that additional win?
I mean, really, this is just icing on the cake for the UConn program. I mean, like, let's first talk about Gino Auriemma, right? This is the man of women's college basketball. I mean, 12 national championships under him and for the program, proving once again he is at the top of the hill and will always be for as long as he's coaching. This man recruits, he develops, and he makes connections with his girls and with his players. It's that simple. And I'll say this, he is one of the best coaches of all time, not just in women's college basketball, but one of the best coaches of all time in American sports history, right? I mean, look at this tournament alone. UConn beats the absolute brakes off everybody. I mean, they destroyed 2 number 1 seeds in UCLA and South Carolina. It wasn't close at all. Like, dominated, routed, whatever you want to say. Paige Beckers, clearly, I mean, her and Gino have a great relationship, but she's clearly the number 1 pick for this year's WNBA draft. And AZ Fudd stepped up in a huge way in this tournament. She was outstanding for them. And Sarah Strong, right? I mean, she is a freshman. This girl was so good. I mean, she might be one of the best players in college basketball for the next 3 years, however long she decides to stay. But credit the Huskies. They are hands down in a great place right now for the program. This was a big win for them, not winning for a little bit since 2016, but really just adding on to the wins of what's been such a historic franchise. And as long as Gino is there at the helm, they're going to be relevant for a long time.
You know what this reminds me of? Well, first, like 12 championships, 12 national championships is insane. I mean, that doubles Bill Belichick's amount of Super Bowls. You know that picture of Bill Russell, or I'm going to do this on the camera, he's kind of like this, and he's got all the rings on his fingers. I need Gino to recreate that picture.
There's edits out there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I need him to actually do it, though.
The real deal.
Yeah, and I don't want some AI deepfake stuff. I want the real deal. I want him to take that picture with his 12 rings like this. Yeah, I mean, you summed it up perfectly. I mean, this is the program in women's basketball going forward. I mean, and it has been. This isn't news. I mean, UConn is not only one of the most storied just men's basketball franchises, their women's team is like significantly better, and we already talked about the men's team as being one of the best ever also. UConn knows how to put out basketball teams. They know how to develop talent. They know how to recruit. They do it all, and a big part of it is Gino. And you know, he deserves a lot more credit than he gets.
So now, Joe, what do you think is next for Coach Gino?
Cancun, retirement, stay another 20 years, I don't know.
He can do whatever he wants. He can win another ring.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the man flat out has done everything he possibly can for a program. I mean, again, I'll say this again. There is not any coach. He's probably the top 5 greatest coach of all time in American sports history, right? And I think this is a guy who has just done it the right way for so long, and he's got the options now. I mean, his accolades speak for himself. I would be here all day talking about it. But again, 12 national championships. He owes this program literally nothing at this point. So whenever he decides to walk, he's going to be remembered as one of the best to ever do it. And we just got to appreciate the greatness, like we have of LeBron James right now in like year 100. Like, just appreciate what we have, because it's not here forever. I mean, Gino's been sensational.
All right. So yesterday, the Denver Nuggets announced that they fired head coach Michael Malone and will not be extending their general manager Calvin Booth's contract for the next season. Now, with the end of the regular season on April 13th, Matt, do you think this is the right call from head office?
I feel like this is a situation where we're going to find out a lot over the coming days and weeks, right? This is just weird. What, 5 games left in the regular season, something like that? Like, you're firing your head coach and the GM right before playoff time? To me, it just feels a little like, what? Like, what are you doing? Especially, NBA Finals champion, like, took this team, won a championship with this team. I believe they're the 3 seed right now, 4 seed maybe, in the West. Like, what? Like, I'm more so confused. Like, I'm confused right now. I can't even make a decision if this was the right move or not. It's just, to me, it just feels weird and hasty, and just like, you got to think Jokic probably had a say in this. You got to think a lot of the guys in the locker room maybe weren't getting along with him. It's really weird. I feel like stuff's going to come out. Mike Malone, maybe not as great as we all think he is. There's some stuff going on behind the scenes. So, yeah.
I mean, it's really fascinating. I mean, look in recent years. There's been a little bit of a trend. Mike Budenholzer with Milwaukee. Frank Vogel with the Lakers. Nick Nurse with Toronto. Ty Lue with the Cavs. I mean, those coaches won championships. Correct me if I'm wrong, with these teams. Like, and you're just gonna give up on them 2-3 years later? Like, what's up with that? Like, it doesn't add up. Like, there's got to be stuff we don't know. I mean, first off, I've never been a huge Mike Malone fan. I think he's a heck of a coach. I don't like his personality. I think he sucks in the media. I think he is, quite frankly, got a attitude and just a way about him that I find quite annoying personally, and I would not want to be a player for him. But there's more that we don't know, obviously, as journalists. We're not in that locker room 24/7. So we're not going to see what's happening. I've heard there's stuff with film issues, Mike Malone was saying not too long ago, just about a month ago, like players aren't watching film. So there's a lot going on that we're not familiar with, but I know there was earlier in the season questions about Jamal Murray. Is he really that true number 2 guy for Jokic? I mean, we all know what Jokic can do to bring to the table. He can easily be a 30-point game, 30-point scorer per night, and he basically is an MVP frontrunner. I mean, I do think, as much as I'm not a big Michael Malone fan, I think it's idiotic with 3 games left in the season to do this. It's not smart. With this close to the playoffs, I mean, what are you doing? I mean, and you can the same thing with Taylor Jenkins in Memphis. Like,
right.
Why? Like, why are we?
These are good teams.
Firing coaches on good rosters with less than like you're at the finish line. Like, why?
Something's
results too.
Something's obviously happening.
Look,
something we don't know about.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Mike Malone. Say what you will. He's an abrasive guy. He's old school. He's very Tom Thibodeau. He probably would have gotten along a lot better with guys in the 80s and 90s than he does now. The league's a little softer nowadays. But this guy, again, is a championship coach with pretty much the same exact team. They lost Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to the Magic. That is their biggest loss from that championship team. Like, that's nothing. It is the same team that won a championship a couple years ago. Like, what changed? It's just something had to have happened in that locker room where the owner came out and said, play hard and have fun. That's what he told the guys. That's what he told the players. Play hard, have fun.
You're firing GM and coach. Something must have happened, and I wouldn't be surprised if we find out in the next week or so.
Yeah. All right, so moving on. Monday night, the Lakers traveled to Oklahoma City to play the league-leading Thunder. Luka Doncic scored 30 points as the Lakers were up the majority of the game. This is the first time since November 15th that Oklahoma City has scored less than 100 points in a game. Matt, do you think we should be worried about OKC going into the playoffs?
No, come on. Let's be real here. Let's be real. They are the best team in the league, right? In my opinion, there's no doubt they have the MVP of the league. Although, say what you will, maybe he shouldn't win it. He's the free throw merchant, SGA. They are the best team in the league right now. They still are, despite this loss, despite another rough loss to Houston. I just think their head's not in the game right now. They're not playing insanely hard, and I think that's because they've locked up that 1 seed. These games really don't matter to them. I just think that they're kind of playing possum for the teams like the Lakers and the Rockets to say, oh, wow, we beat you by 26 points. And, the Lakers are now going to walk into the playoffs super confident, and, maybe, they'll be a little shocked in that first round. I'm not worried about OKC. I mean, they have the talent. I'm not saying I don't think they're going to win a championship this year, but I don't think that these games are anything to be concerned about. This happens to all the best teams at the end of the regular season. Look at the Celtics last year. I mean, you go back to those Cavs teams with LeBron, they always look vulnerable right before you go into the playoffs. The Warriors too. It just happens. You take your foot off the gas right before the playoff time. You see the light at the end of the tunnel. Regular season's over. You've had a really long, hard regular season, and now you're just waiting for the playoffs. So I don't think this is anything to be concerned about.
Oh, Matt, you have fallen to the trap, my brother. You're so wrong. I mean, they're screwed. I mean, I understand they locked the 1 seed, but they're screwed. And listen, if the Clippers get the 6th seed, I'm telling you right now, they're upsetting in 6. I mean, Shea is carrying this team on his back. Chet is so many question marks right now with him. I don't trust him. Houston came ready. LA cooked them the other night. I mean, I don't think they're making it out of the West. I think they're going to have a hard time making it out of the first round. I think they're going to be a hard out.
On.
But man, I don't know. I don't know right now.
They're going to play Sacramento. Like, what?
Sacramento might not even make it.
No, I'm saying that, but that's who they're going to get. They're going to get Sacramento or Phoenix. You think they're not going to make it?
They might lose that.
They're going to lose to Sacramento, DeMar DeRozan. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Calm down.
All right.
I trust Shea.
Yeah.
I don't trust the rest of them. They're young.
Chet Holmgren,
They're inexperienced. We saw it
J-Dub,
last year.
Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, Isaiah Hartenstein, Kason Wallace.
Who the heck is Kason
Wallace?
Wallace?
All right. Let's move on. All right. So, lastly, on
Oh my
Sunday, the
gosh.
Rockets shot down Steph Curry and the Warriors after winning 106-96. This is the first game Steph has started where he has dropped less than 5 points since 2012. Joe, what are your thoughts on Steph since he's come back from injury?
I mean, honestly, struggled a little bit. He really has. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried. He's proven he's a 4-time NBA champion. I fully expect him to be back and ready. If Golden State makes a run in the playoffs, he's going to be a big reason why. Obviously, Jimmy Butler's been huge in their turnaround this season. I'm not worried about Steph. This is the man who has a huge past because he's shown it time in and time out.
Amen Thompson had Steph Curry trapped in the nether. So, it was a really rough night for Steph. And this is a game that I'm going to point to say, I'm a big Magic Johnson truther. I'm a big, Magic Johnson's the greatest point guard of all time. And, where's a game where even if Magic Johnson did drop 3 points, he probably had 18 assists, 15 boards, couple steals, maybe a block or two. So I think this is just a bad. I mean, you can't overreact, but it's a really bad look for Steph, especially right before the playoffs. And this was a Warriors team that was rolling. I mean, with this lineup with Jimmy Butler, they were one of the top teams in the league. So I mean, this shows they're a little vulnerable to those more high-level teams in the West. And I think this is it for the Warriors. I think we're done with them. They had their time in the sun. This is really the last chapter. This is their last chance to do anything, which I doubt they get past the second round, maybe. So, yeah.
I know. I read a stat that said with Steph and Butler, they're 21-3.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, but this loss, this was bad.
it
And
kind
it's
of
to
does look a
Houston.
little bit
You're
bad.
bad.
overanalyzing this.
I don't know.
Steph is going to Steph. He's going to cook in the playoffs. We all know he can. He's one of the best performers I've ever seen with my own eyes. You can't even compare this man to Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson wishes he could shoot as well as this man. So,
That's going to do it on the rundown. A big thank you to these two with me, Jake Salvi, Cole Belak, Steve Jones, Nicolette Cash, and everyone behind the scenes, and all of you watching at home. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, everyone.